That exact shot will be cut into a 9-second, 10-second clip and minted on the blockchain and sent to your wallet. So now you'll have the storyboard panel and you'll have the actual shot. So it's almost like you're seeing the film being made inside your wallet.
Hi guys! So I moved my desk and that's why I'm sitting here now. But that's really not what we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to talk about NFT projects, and specifically one project where I interviewed the guys that are making the project, and it's called Revas World. It's an NFT project building on the Cardano blockchain. And what I found so interesting about this project was that these guys are making a movie and they're using NFTs to kind of fund the movie, but also to create a community around the movie that is helping to actually create the movie. So it's a co-creation process between the creators of the movie and the community of people who are buying the NFTs, and by doing that, buying into the movie. And I just think it's such an interesting example of how this NFT technology can be used in a very innovative way, I think, to actually fund a creative project like this, and not just fund it, but create this group of people around the project that are in this co-creation process, helping actually shape the movie. I'm not trying to say that this project is going to the moon or anything. This is not at all the intent of this video. I just wanted to present you guys with an actual real life example of how NFTs can be used for something else other than just creating JPEGs of cats that you can then buy and try and resell online. This is an actual use case where someone is using the NFT technology to fund a creative project and to make this co-creation process that I'm talking about. And I just think this use case is so interesting because that can be used for anything. It can be used for movies or books or comic books or games or whatever you want to do. You can use NFTs to create this kind of community around your project and also help fund the project in that way. So I think that's really great, and the people who are making it are really nice people. I really enjoyed talking to them. So without further ado, let's just get into the interview that I made with the creators of Revas World. Okay, so I'm here with the creators of Revas World. Hello to you. Can you guys just quickly introduce yourselves to the audience?
Yeah, firstly, thank you for having us. We've been looking for an opportunity to talk about our project a little bit more. Yeah. So I'm Randeep. This is Shubhi. We're set to get married in a few months.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And so basically, we are filmmakers ourselves. We've been doing this for the past 13 years. And we've been writing our screenplay for a while now. And we bootstrapped the whole project. We put together some money and we went out, tried to shoot the film. But unfortunately, COVID hit. And after our first day of filming, we had to pack everything, move back. And our location was extremely remote. We're shooting in the middle of a desert. So a lot of the logistics went haywire and we had to come back. And obviously making a movie is extremely expensive. And we were already working on very tight budgets. So we lost a huge chunk of our budget. We came back, sulked for a week, had a nice pity party. But in the meantime, we discovered NFTs and we thought, this is something that could help us involve the community and maybe do community building and produce the film at the same time while getting inputs from the people who are actually going to watch it, right? Rather than going and pitching to investors, pitching to studios who want to change a bunch of things about the film. Investors want some collateral. So, just putting all of that on the sidelines and really focusing on the film, we thought this is the best way and the most honest way of actually doing justice to the film without diluting it. So we came up with this whole concept and now it's up on sale. It's minting right now. And we're hoping that it catches on and we can, do more stuff like this.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hope so too for you guys. I think it's a really exciting project. That was why I reached out to you, because when I saw it, I was like, I'm getting into the NFT space as well. I'm pretty new to it, but I think it's such an exciting technology. And when I saw your project, I was just like, wow, that's the first time I've seen it used in this way. And I was like, that's brilliant, to use it for like getting funding for the movie, but also, like you said, getting feedback from a community and creating a community around it. And so I'm really excited to hear a little bit more about this whole project and how it works, and also just your guys' thoughts on this whole space of NFTs and what it can do for filmmakers and other kinds of artists. So if you could start by just telling us a little bit more about Revas World, the movie. What is the movie about? Yeah, let's start there. What is the movie about?
So, Reva's world is basically, so Reva is our protagonist. We wanted to design a collection around our protagonist and not around the film, because we did not want to reveal too much about our screenplay. We had a couple of really good ideas where we were going to put out NFTs of our script pages. So, holders could maybe exchange them and get to know where the story is going. But the kind of screenplay that we have right now, it's not really a thriller or a suspense film where you would want to do something like that. It's more of a coming of age story about this girl who lives in a metropolitan city and suffers from this disease which is called EHS, which is basically she can't be around electronics. And she's heard about this magical place in the middle of the desert in stories from her grandfather. And she thinks that, and her grandfather told her that that place is stuck in time. People are happy over there. They, live off the earth. There's no social media, nobody to judge you. It's the happiest place on this planet. And she decides maybe that's the solution to all her problems. And we catch her. The film starts with her running away from home in search of this place.
That's basically the basis of the film. The story is basically about traveling through. So it isn't as sad, and the whole take of the film, we don't want you to feel bad about her having the disease. You know how movies that cover diseases are usually little, the protagonist, like you kind of feel sad with what they're going through. So it's how she manages. She's okay with the problem that she has living in the world that she's living in. She doesn't feel bad for herself. She doesn't want you to feel bad for. That's kind of it. And it's like the journey that she takes across the country to get to that place without being able to use electricity or talk to people or use a phone or Google anything of that sort. She finds she finds a companion on the way. Some villager helps her out, and they don't realize it because these parts of the world are still so remote. They don't realize how good they have it, according to her. So she just enjoys herself for the first time. She can be out. She plays with the kids she meets in the village. Sleeps out under the stars.
So it's basically two worlds meeting each other, right? A majority of the world lives unconnected right now. We are fortunate enough to not have to deal with that. They don't have the kind of opportunities we have. But someone who has all those opportunities craves for something like that, and those people crave for what we have. So it's this very weird dichotomy of two worlds basically, and it gives you a deep insight on human behavior and so she's not into social media. She doesn't use tech, right? She meets this guy who's the complete opposite of her, who's on social media all the time. That's his job. He has forgotten how to communicate with real people. And she's the one who's really good at communicating with people that she meets for the first time. So it's sort of a comment on that. But it is, at the end of the day, a self-discovery film.
Sounds really fascinating. I think it sounds like a great plot you got there. How did you get the idea for that? Is there some personal experience in there, or how did you come about this particular plot?
So both of us are very introverted people. I think this is the most extroverted thing we are ever doing in our life. We would never imagine us doing this. But if this is what it takes to put your project out there, you have to put yourself out there. And we have a huge issue with the way social media is affecting people right now, the way it's being used, and the whole influencer culture, how it's doing more harm than good, in our opinion, what we've seen, in our in the space around us.
Even work-wise, like even in films and everything here, it's somehow taken like, first place. So they would, pick an influencer to do a role over an actor. That's, that takes away from the project. So it's like you use it, everything it can be, you should be used in a limited capacity, right? You can't, everything is not the best for everything. So they started using social media for advertising, for casting, for everything. So kind of the quality of the project, it becomes like who's more popular on social media or what, it's taking away from filmmaking basically. So that's
every art
from
form.
Everything, from everything. So
I mean, that's our perspective on it. I'm sure there are success stories out there, but what we've noticed, and we thought that EHS is a really good way to drive the story forward. So the film is not about her disease. Her disease is a tool that we're using to, say something. It's I mean, she's not going to get cured by the end of it. That is not the point. That's not how it's going to be, built up. It's going to be more about, is she happy?
Yeah.
The disease as such, it's not there, right? Like it's not like cancer or something where you can see it affecting. So whether she has it or not, or whether it's psychological or not, is something we would leave it to the audience to see however you want to understand her. She has it, works regardless, because we don't want to get into that at all. It's just like what she was feeling day one, and after going through that journey, how she changes or how her views about the world change is kind of what it's about.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to use that to kind of comment on the whole, because it's such a, if you are suffering from that in today's world, you are basically like blocked off, right, from everything, because everything is so focused on social media. And I think
I'm sure you can't imagine yourself, a day without your laptop or your cell phone.
No.
I mean, imagine that if you could do that, well, how would your day be? It would be drastically different from what it is right now. So a person living a huge chunk of their life that way would have a very different life than what we're living.
Definitely.
And we're taking with the way we've written the film is, how usually when people want to put a message across, it kind of is a little obvious, right? Like, oh, I'm trying to say that this is bad for you or this is good for you, right? We don't really want to do that. So we've tried to write it in a way where when you see her doing something, it should kind of hit you personally.
So we just present the situation, the audience makes up their own mind, their own opinion.
We're not trying to say social media is bad or internet is bad or the electricity is bad or anything of that sort. But when you see it, you're like, maybe I should take out 10 minutes from my day and just go out, walk on the grass or something like that. Like whatever you take from it, it works. It works. You don't know.
And it's ironical that we're doing this on the NFT space.
But that's you need to get it out there, right? And if that's the means right now, then that's just what you got to do. But I think it sounds like a really interesting point that you're making. So in terms of NFTs, you have decided to create this NFT project around this movie. And can you tell a little bit about what kinds of NFTs you can mint with this project, and kind of the reward structure and the whole idea of the NFT part of the project?
So why we think that NFTs are perfect for this? First of all, this could easily be a Kickstarter campaign. But in a Kickstarter campaign, what do? You get a hoodie, some merchandise, right? over here we can actually give real value to people who are investing in the project. You can give them something tangible that can be sold in the secondary marketplace, that could appreciate in value, that could, this a tangible asset. You can give them something that can grow in value. That's why we thought this would be perfect. Now, in terms of, so our whole collection has 4 categories, right? So we have close-ups, long shots, storyboard panels, and specials. So close-ups and long shots, we've kept them graphic illustrations because we didn't want to create too big of a disconnect with what is actually working right now in the space. So profile picture NFTs are working. So we figured we could do our close-ups like that, but we didn't want the whole collection to be monotonous. So our storyboard panels are our actual storyboard panels, which will be shot. Our specials are the pictures from our location scouting trip with our actual production notes on it. So that's something that's giving you, like, you'll be owning a piece of the process of making the film rather than just a token, right?
And you'll always be part of it, right? Like, you're always going to be part of the project. Like, when it goes over, like, once you tell you the rewards, then.
So the storyboard panel holders will be airdropped the exact shot. So if you have a close-up of a following shot of Reva going into a department store, that exact shot will be cut into a 9-second, 10-second clip and minted on the blockchain and sent to your wallet. So now you'll have the storyboard panel and you'll have the actual shot. So it's almost like you're seeing the film being made inside your wallet.
Yeah.
So that's what we were going for. And if you hold the specials, you get another 10, 12 video shot of behind the scenes. So we wanted to shine light on some of the crew members that work behind the scenes who are not promoted enough. You have your assistant camera people, the camera team, the grip works really hard. So we were thinking of, promoting them, giving this opportunity to them to promote themselves. So we were thinking of cutting out a 8-9 second video clip of them working and attaching their Twitter handle or their social media in the metadata. So if anybody wants to get in touch with them, they can. So those are some of the rewards. If you're a collector, if you own one of each category, so if you want, you can reveal your name, or we can put your alias as in the opening credits of the film. So for the first time ever, you'll have, if somebody doesn't want to reveal their real name, we'll have a very weird, funky mushroom or something like that in the credit sequence.
Yeah.
And that credit sequence will then be minted and sent back to your wallet. So we're just trying to mimic the whole process of, from script to screen, and provide NFTs to the holders, which they can look at and see that, okay, I invested in something and now it's, you can see the progress in your wallet.
Well, that's so cool. That was why I liked it so much when I saw it, was because just the start, like you said, it could have been a Kickstarter campaign, for example, right? But the problem there is you basically pay for the hopes that they will create a great product. But this is more like you get ownership of a part of the actual product in the end. And so it just connects people so much more to the project itself, and makes them probably want to follow the production process of everything being made. And you can have feedback on the way from the community, and they can kind of help creating the movie, basically, which is such an amazing thought, I think, that you can have this collaborative process where the fans of the movie are basically helping make it, and then they also are credited in the actual movie, and they own basically a part of it. It's just, I think that's so interesting that you can actually do that, and you can just spread this out worldwide. not need to go through any like middlemen or channels.
That's the other thing. The amount of people that we've met from different corners of the world in the past 2 months while we've been working on this NFT project is amazing.
Yeah.
We've had filmmakers. We had one lady. I don't know if I can say her name. She was so sweet. She's a Colombian, and I think she's working in Spain. She reached out to us. She's a filmmaker herself. We have a bunch of filmmakers following us on Twitter. So eventually, what we want to do is we need someone to do the music for the film, right? We want to source it from the community.
Yeah.
We'll have contests, competitions where we'll send you a rough cut, compose something behind it, send it back to us. Let's see what fits, and let make it a truly collaborative effort.
Yeah, that's truly amazing. I have the same experience of going into space. Like now I'm talking to you guys, but I've talked to so many different people already from all corners of the world, and people are so nice and welcoming, and it just seems like this is such a great community. Is there any special reason why you chose Cardano for this NFT project?
So I started following Cardano, I think, a year back. I came across it, and I researched about it. Our worldview aligns very closely to what IOHK is trying to do, what Charles is trying to do, what they're talking about. So I think that was one of the main reasons for us to choose Cardano. Plus, the minting process is extremely easy.
Yeah.
The costs are not very high. The transaction speeds are debatable right now. There are some issues going on, but those will be fixed, I think, in the near future. But it's more about the philosophy of the company that's actually building this network that really wanted us to do. And the Cardano community is something else.
Yeah, I think so too. I just got into it, but yeah, that's my experience as well. It's really nice people in this community. And I really see a lot of support for all of these NFT projects that are starting up right now in Cardano. So I understand why you would choose Cardano to build it on. So I really hope that that you guys will get a lot of traction on this. So where are you right now in the production process of the movie itself? You just started minting the NFTs, right? So where is the movie right now?
So we are updating the community every week on Discord. So I just dropped an update, I think yesterday, if I'm not wrong. We had changed a bit of our screenplay. So we were rewriting the last 20 pages, which we've just finished. And we have a couple of people that we send it out to get reviews, who've been given script doctors who give us feedback, tell us, what's working, what's not working. Some plot points need to be moved up and down, all of that. So we've done that. Right now, we're going to be leaving for another location directly tomorrow. So we're checking out a few more locations, seeing what other options are available. We have our team ready. We have our actors on board. We have our DOP. We have all of that because we had all that ready prior to the NFT launching.
Yeah.
So now we're just waiting for to figure out our locations. Our actors are a little busy.
And the weather also.
And the weather primarily.
Because it's in the middle of the desert, so it can't be too hot. It can't be too cold. Can't be in the when it's really dusty, the pre-rainy season. So the time is we have a very, very short amount of time to actually go out and shoot it. Very few months in the year that we can actually do it.
And the thing is, we don't want to take a unit of 150, 200 people to go and shoot a film. Like we don't want to make it that chaotic. So I don't know if you're aware of the film Nomadland. They went out and shot with a crew of, I think, 15 people.
Yeah.
Didn't use a lot of lights, shot only between 7 to 11 in the morning and then 4 to 7 in the evening when you have really good light. And the quality that they've come up with is amazing. So we're trying to take that approach. So we take time doing it, but we do it right. We don't shoot for 15 days, we shoot for 50 days, but we do it right. And they say you need to make a film, you either need a lot of money or a lot of time. And because of this project, we'll end up with both. So we want to make the best film that we can.
Oh, that sounds great. Yeah, so you are just about to start shooting right now, or soon at least.
Soon, yeah, we'll be starting our pre-production soon.
Okay. So it's exciting times.
Yeah.
So how have your experience been so far with the whole creation of the, like, for other people that might be sitting out there and might want to fund a movie or some other creative project? They might be interested in hearing your experience with creating these NFTs in the first place and getting them listed, and the marketing aspect of it as well, how to get the word spread around and get this community started. Can you tell a little about how that experience have been? Has it been difficult? What have you learned on the way doing this whole NFT project?
So since the space is so new, there's not a lot to follow, right? There's no set path that you need to take. There's not a lot to look back on. And it's changing every day. Like every 12 hours, there's something new that's coming out. There's something new that the community is expecting. Earlier, it was Twitter followers, Discord, and you're done. But that doesn't slide anymore because a lot of the projects have been a little iffy with buying their Twitter followers and all of that.
Yeah.
Number one thing I would say, stay away from every promoter that tweets at you. That's just money down the drain. And what you're going to get, those numbers don't matter. The numbers that these promoters get you don't matter at all because they're not a good metric. The numbers are never a good metric to judge the interest in your project. So the path we took was just pestering influencers. Like if you look at my Twitter page, I think done some. I've tweeted out 700-800 times. I just keep constantly bothering them till the time they don't notice me, and then I just request. I tell them to have a look at our project, and if they like it, they can maybe. A couple of them have been gracious enough to do it. And a couple of them have asked for boatloads of money, which we obviously don't have. So I think the marketing, you should keep it as organic as possible.
Because you don't get anything in return otherwise. If you just get a bunch of followers and a bunch of people on this thing, then it doesn't amount to anything.
And one more thing I would like to bring attention to is a lot of these promoters, if you go on their page, on their Twitter profile, they've got a pinned tweet on top, which will be basically promoting some NFT collection. And if you scroll up, you can see that right under that, they're offering people money to retweet. So it's get a chance to win $250 if you retweet this. So people are retweeting that, but that metric doesn't matter at all. Especially also Discord, inflating your numbers before launch is extremely shady because then you're creating false hype, right? People are going to be like, oh, so many people are interested in the project, let me buy in. But that number is a false number. We are also, finding our path in this right now. We've made some mistakes. We've gotten someone on board to do our marketing on Discord, which we feel is fair right now because we are minting right now. We are out there. It's not that we'll be inflating. Nobody is going to be coming on there hoping to catch the hype because the hype is there before launch. We've already launched. We just want people to come in, read what we have to offer. If they like it, they can, mint one. If not, it's all good.
Mm.
So the marketing is a little bit tricky, but there's no set way. It's just as organic as possible.
Yeah.
The minting process is extremely easy on Cardano.
Yeah.
We are working with a company called Limefolk.
Mhm.
They've been extremely helpful. They've done an amazing job of walking us through all the technicals, because we are not very technical people. So they've answered all our questions. They're taking care of the back end minting process.
Okay.
And there are a bunch of people. Like if you go out there, you'll find a bunch of people. But in our experience, these guys are really good.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds great, because that was one of the things I was wondering. Like, wow, are you both like movie people and you're programming these NFTs as well? But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But I think in terms of marketing, that this whole like the NFT project in itself becomes a source of marketing, because you're building this community of people who are actually engaging with the movie. Like when you just said that you are sending out screenplay to get feedback from the community. I was like, that sounds really fun. Like, so if you're just interested in movie making in general, it might be interesting for you to participate in this, because you're actually like participating in the actual process, and then that in itself can create this small community around the movie that can help spread it organically, right? So I think that's definitely the right way to work with it, to just focus on those people that are actually interested in being part of the
Our intention is not to just make a film. We want to make the film, but we want it to be up on a streaming platform too.
Yeah.
So that's ironical again, because the whole reason for starting this was to get back at the studios.
Yeah.
And take the power away from them. So we have something coming up for that also, that I can't share too much about that right now, but we have a few things that we'll be doing with that. So but our film is going to be on a streaming platform. It's not something that is going to be made, presented to the community, and that's it. No, we want it to be a real film. It's going to be on a platform, have real audiences. We are going to mention how we raised the funds and try to get more people involved in the NFT space through that.
Also, I think we want to sort of the space that we come from. They have made filmmaking so complicated.
Yeah.
Like we have such a simple script. We just need 20 people, and we can just go do it so easily. So we kind of want to show that as well, that everything doesn't need a big show, and everything doesn't need a big, vanities and hoo-ha behind it. So the team that we've gotten together are also people who've stuck with us through the pandemic, and they're genuinely still interested in the project, regardless of what they're doing. We've all been in touch with each other. They know what's going on right now in this space as well, and they're like, you know what I mean? Like it's a small space of our own there as well, like a small community of people who genuinely believed in our script, and we all are working for it to make this point. It's not a money making scheme. All of us just want to get a good film out there to sort of prove, like you said, that you don't have to put in so much money and time and this big show just to make a decent film.
When there's so much bureaucracy and red tape to cut through to even get a meeting,
I could imagine.
it's insane. It shouldn't be that difficult.
It's very difficult.
Netflix was supposed to be the salvation for independent filmmakers, but it has ended up being overrun by the studios again.
Yeah.
So we want to take back some of that space.
Yeah, that's the whole story of the whole crypto movement, basically, right? Taking back the power.
Imagine that on Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, but I just think it's so fascinating this project because of what you're doing here, that you're financing it through this community of people who are helping build it. That's just amazing, and it creates so many amazing opportunities for filmmakers and other artists as well. This is exactly how I think you should be using this technology, to stick it to the big studios. Yeah, so it sounds really great. You guys said in the beginning that you have some experience with filmmaking from before. You've worked with it for a long time. We wrote a little bit about it before this interview as well. But can you tell a little bit more about what is your experience with filmmaking, and how did you get to this point of actually making a true feature film?
So I started studying film when I was 17. So I went to film school right after, my schooling, my high school and all of that. I was in film school for 2 years. I specialized in editing because I thought like that's the best way to learn, right? You learn from other people's mistakes. And direction is not something that can be taught. I don't think it can be taught. You're a storyteller. How you say the story is very personal to you. You can learn the technical stuff. So I specialized in editing. I assisted a few people down over here. That didn't cut it. So I joined a big production house, a big studio for exactly 3 weeks. I couldn't stay there anymore. Like it was too much for me in the sense like you don't get to learn anything, you don't get to do anything over there. You're just basically an errand boy for them. There is no creative involvement, nothing. I thought I can use my time in a better way to get closer to my goal of making my film. After that, I started directing ads. And while directing ads, we started developing our own shows, our own concepts, our own pitches. So then we primarily got into writing. We've been writing shows and pitching them around to studios for a while, for 5-6 years now. We've sold 1 or 2 shows, but selling shows also means nothing. When we sold them, we were very excited that we sold a show, but selling a show doesn't mean that it's going to be made. They can decide that, you know what, not the right time. Let's just maybe do it later. We own it now anyway. So I mean, there's no closure to you sitting and writing for years, hoping you can see it on screen, and then somebody just buys it and puts it on the back burner. Then we decided, it's time we just make our own film. And the ways to exhibit your film have become easier. To find an audience for your film in today's day and age has become a lot easier than it was maybe 10 years, 12 years back. So we thought this was the right time, and especially with the whole NFT thing, it just worked out perfectly timing wise. So that's what I've done. She's
specialized in animation when I was in college. So I studied animation. I did a lot of 3D animation, a bit of coding and all of that. 6-7 years. That's what I was doing. I was working as a VFX artist, as a lot of animation work, but then it starts taking a toll on you, that life for like 16, 18 hours a day, you're just in front of the computer. So I just needed a break from that. I wanted to see what else is out there. That's when we met each other. So I started assisting him. And again, when we were working together, we realized how the system is so flawed. So that's when we started writing together and we decided, let's just do this on our own. So my basis is animation, but I've been working with him for about 5-6 years now, assisting him, writing together, and I do a lot of the creative work actually. So yeah, the palettes that we pick, the clothes that we decide, and since both of us have a background, like we sort of somehow pull it together, all the presentations that need to be made, all the graphics that need to be made, we just sort of try and do whatever's in our capacity.
So she has a very logical way of looking at the screenplay, and I have a very emotional way of looking at a screenplay. So that sort of works together, right? It's cool that the the bad guy walks away from a burning building, right? It works for me, doesn't work for her because it makes no logical sense. So together, I think we have found a sweet spot
Yeah.
to write something that does both.
It sounds great. Sounds like you complement each other a lot. So you're both writers, but other than that, you have different kind of areas of expertise.
Yeah.
Okay, and it is you two, and then everyone else is someone who's hired in on the project, but you are like the originators of the project.
Yeah. So we have our DOP, we have our sound team, we have our actors, we have our costume team, we have all of those people also, but they they come on project basis, and these are again the people who you can pay anybody to work for you. We didn't have the money, that kind of money that these people actually deserve.
Yeah.
The only thing that has kept all of us together are the 120 pages that we've written. And that's a shared vision that everybody is invested in. So, yeah.
Wow, that is just, it sounds amazing. Having such a creative project that people believe in, so that they want to just see it happen, right? I think that's one of the fun or amazing things of creative projects like that. Okay, so if people are interested in seeing more of this, reading about the project and seeing the NFTs and so on, where can they find you guys?
So we have a website, which is revasworld.net, and our Twitter, which is revasworld, WRLD.
I couldn't hear that.
A bunch of people who reached out to us.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's hold it here. I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk with me. I thought it was interesting to hear a little bit more about this project, and maybe as it moves forward, we might talk again at some point. It might be interesting to see when you're like further into the production of the movie, how it's going, and if the community has gotten bigger and what your experiences are at that point. But you seem like really nice people, and I want to thank you for for having the time to talk to me. And I wish you all of the best with Revas World.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, really appreciate this opportunity to talk about our project. Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah. If you need anything else, reach out to us. Any more questions, we're more than happy to answer them.
I will. I'll just edit the video, and I'll send you a link when it's ready. And if I have any questions or I need anything from you, I'll just reach out. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And I hope I'll talk to you again.
Yeah, for sure.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
So that was the interview, and if you guys are interested in where you can find these NFTs and just take a look at the project to see how it works and maybe be inspired to make your own project, I'll leave links in the description for their Twitter profile and their website, so you can go and take a look at it. And if you're interested in being part of this whole co-creation project and actually take part in creating this movie, I would seriously think about minting one of these NFTs if I were you. I haven't minted one of them. I need to disclose this. This is not financial advice. I'm not an investor in this project. I'm not trying to like shill this project at all. I just think it's a really interesting use case for NFT technology. And so I'll leave that up to you guys to look at and decide. And if you liked the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll just see you guys in the next video.